Hello everyone and welcome back to Drama Made Simple. Today we are going to be talking about one of Uta Hagen's object exercises. This is a series on this channel in which we go through Uta Hagen's 10 object exercises and some other information about Uta Hagen. So if you want to check out those other videos, it might be useful to do the other object exercises first. Then I will have that playlist linked in the description down below for you. If you don't know, Uta Hagen was an American actress and teacher, and she wrote a book called Respect for Acting in which she talks about acting exercises that can be used for your development. Similarly to how musicians have their scales they can work on, these are exercises for actors to similarly improve yourself. These are very simple exercises, and yet it's something that not a lot of actors practice or employ often. Her book, Respect for Acting, can be found on Amazon or Audible, and I actually have an affiliate link with Audible, so if you want to try out Audible, then if you click one of the links in the description down below, you will be able to try out Audible, and with that affiliate link, it means that I get a small reward as well, so thank you if you do go ahead and do that. You will get a credit for a free audiobook, and you can use that to listen to Respect for Acting from Uta Hagen if you would like to. This exercise is all about immediacy, so trying to appear like something is urgent on stage. This can happen often when you're supposed to be looking for something or carrying out a task that has a very important time constraint to it. It can often appear somewhat contrived or fake, so trying to come up with a way for this to appear more authentic and real on stage is what the goal is for this exercise. So first we want to practice something where you actually do have a real time constraint. For example, in this case, because everybody is stuck at home, you don't really have the option of pairing up with somebody necessarily. If you do, then something that would be useful would be asking your roommate or somebody you live with to hide a valuable object for you somewhere in your apartment, and then set a timer for 60 seconds. And if you don't find that object in that time, you don't get it back. So that's the initial tryout period, is to actually really feel that you are needing to get this object. And hopefully your roommate is nice and they will still give it to you if you don't find it in the time. But the point is that you don't know in this first exercise where the object is, and it's genuinely important for you to get it back. So this way, the way that you go about looking for this object should be genuinely concerned and quickly but carefully checking everywhere to really find this object. So try that out first. If you don't have somebody that you're living with, you could also, come up with some sort of similar bet for yourself so that you have to do something in a certain amount of time or something bad, and really hold yourself accountable for that. Like, you have to post a hideous picture of yourself on your social media or something that you don't want to do, so that if you don't get whatever it is done in that time, those are the stakes. So you want to be creating this high stakes situation for yourself so that when you are going about these actions, it's very, very real because it's actually got high stakes associated with it. So once you've done that first exercise of really looking for something or really needing to do something in a time constraint because of the high stakes, you then want to repeat this exercise, but with the knowledge that there are no actual stakes. So, for example, with the roommate, if you then ask them to put the object back in the same place, you need to practice this exercise again, looking for this object, but this time you actually know where it is. So the difference here obviously is that you know where it is, so you're acting like you need to find something, but you no longer have this real uncertainty of where the object is, and you no longer really necessarily feel there are these high stakes associated with it. So this is a good thing to compare the difference between the actual situation and the acting situation. So similarly for the other option, if you're giving yourself something with high stakes, this time you know that it's not necessarily that you actually have to post this online in the couple of minutes, but you still want to try and create that urgency that no longer is technically there. So this is more challenging because often when you do try to practice this, it won't be as realistic, and you have to really practice to try and get it back to that original setting, trying to really think about what was going through your mind in that time and how you were carefully checking different places. So you might have done a quick hurried first search the first time, but then had to go back and recheck through drawers more carefully a second time. So trying to incorporate some of the things you might have done the first time would be useful. it would actually be a good opportunity for you to actually record the first one if you wanted to, so that you'd be able to look back at it and then kind of compare the difference between when you were actually looking for something or actually doing something with high stakes versus when you aren't. So that'd be a pretty good option for you to do that. And then you can really see the difference and really try to recreate that original one. So the purpose for this exercise then is to try and practice that until you get your rehearsed high stakes immediate scene to a state that it is similar to your original actual high stakes scene. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you will try out this exercise, and I hope you will stick around for the rest of this series in which we go through the other exercises that Uta Hagen talks about in her book. If you would like to do that, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video in this series is uploaded, and I will see you guys in the next one.